This is the Sports Timeout Podcast with CJ Perry, Tony Caronco, Tristan Howe, and your host, Wes Underwood.
Felipe, he'll have a shot, and it deflects into the back of the net!
Getting down the left sideline, he's got one person to beat, he's going to do it. Luke Ball's going to get a 60-yard touchdown with Carthage up 27.
Pass is caught, Thomas has it at the 20-yard line, the 10, there he goes! Touchdown, Joplin!
And that can result in some not good things, so they're going to probably have to take that drone down.
He's going to take it to the house! Touchdown, Web City! 5, touchdown, Web City! Touchdown, the electric Dante Washington!
¡Chicharo! ¡No lo puedo creer! ¡No lo puedo creer!
Deep left, it is gone! 695! They pitch to him, and they get burned! His final attack against the Cubs!
And those were the sights and sounds of some of the big events this last weekend. Welcome to the Sports Timeout Podcast, brought to you by Jefferson's and Kraken Cajun Seafood House in Joplin. With that, we open it up to this late arriving crew, Wes Underwood, myself, and along with Tony and Tristen. And so I hope you enjoyed the week. That will be a $10 fee to start our show since everybody's late. And we'll have a big bash at my house on this New Year's. So, and on that note, if you don't catch my drift there, we'll hopefully you find out where that came from. But just saying LSU is going to be fun this year. And we'll open up in the MLS, and we continue to talk sporting and their winning streak. I got a chance to catch up with head coach Peter Vermes, and he elaborated on his thoughts on the game this past weekend. And I also got to talk to Sporting midfielder and asked him his thoughts on the streak and how they can continue to go at it. And that is midfielder Hernandez. So here it is.
I think the guys defended well, and I also think that for us to score 2 goals on the road, and look, they had to drive the game. They're at home. They have to be the ones to push it, and I thought that we handled the game really well. I'm pleased that the guys fought for the point, which is not an easy thing to do, especially when, I'm not seeing both of those penalties, but wow, it's a little bit miffed on the second one for sure.
Hey, congrats on the draw there tonight. You guys haven't lost a game in your last 3 now. How do you guys keep moving forward and keep the streak alive?
Just continue doing what we've been doing, for the past month or so. And I mean, even all year, I think we've done well in all 3 phases of the game, defensively, offensively, and set pieces. And that's the important thing. We just got to keep working on those and minimize the mistakes, and we'll be in a good spot.
Good stuff from them. But I mean, here are the numbers. In the month of August, Sporting Kansas City was 3-1-1, 70% on the winning percentage there. I mean, that's good enough for best in the West and 4th best in the MLS behind Philly, Montreal, and Orlando. And then not to mention that they average 2.8 goals a game, which is tied for 2nd most behind Philly. I mean, look, I can't count them out yet. Mathematically, they're still in this. And I don't think you guys should either. Again, mathematically, they're still in this race for the playoffs. It's crazy, but they head to Houston to take on the Dynamo tomorrow night at 7:30. What are your guys' quick thoughts on this? Do you think they make the playoffs if they can continue playing at that rate, Tony?
Well, if they continue playing at this rate, then yes, I see them making the playoffs. That's the thing, though. My biggest critique of them all season has been that they've been very inconsistent. Yes, if they continue playing like this, they're going to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
But ultimately it's going to come down if they can stay consistent.
Yeah. Tristan, agree?
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree more, honestly. With players like Tommy and Agata, sometimes it's like you're missing a few pieces of the puzzle. And it seems like here recently that those 2 guys have really completed that puzzle. And hopefully Sporting can finish strong to end the season, and hopefully they make the playoffs. But like Tony said, they've just been way too inconsistent. But hopefully that has turned around. I mean, so far it's turned around, like you said, 3-1-1 with a 70%. Yeah, I mean, they need to stay on top of the game and finish the season strong. We'll see where they're at in the postseason.
All right, and continuing in soccer, we go to the NWSL and the current return to action as they prepare for Gotham this Sunday at 5. And well, here's what head coach Matt Potter had to say about his team's readiness for Gotham after 2 weeks off.
Well, we try to stay process driven. So what can we do every day that allows us to get to games and be the product that we all hope to be? So consistently doing simple things well is something that we try to do. At this point in the season, we are what we are, teams are what they are. So it's about how can we kind of sharpen it a little bit brighter or polish it a little bit brighter to perform that 1% better. And that's what we focus on every day.
What can you tell us about the opponent this weekend?
It's a challenge, a very athletic group. Obviously went through a coaching change. So in terms of the style and how they go about things is probably evolving. We know they got a very good player in Victoria Pickett, and we'll have to manage that player for sure because she's very talented and we know what she can do to teams because she's been with us. So yeah, we expect nothing but the best of Gotham, and that's what we're preparing for. They're going to get the best of us too, and hopefully that means we'll come out the right side of a good game.
Well said. I mean, again, another streak, 12 games to defend, and 28 points scored since May 26th, 14 goals allowed, good for third fewest in the NWSL. And I mean, we've been blessed to see good ball played over the last month out of Sporting and the Current. And I think the Current fans should be thrilled because this team is special. Do you guys agree with that, Tristen?
Yeah, it seems like they've been on fire all season, and they are showing absolutely no slowdown in their play. So the same thing with the Current as well as Sporting KC. If they can finish the season strong, I don't see why they can't make a really good run at the playoffs.
Yeah, Tony.
Yep, I agree. I hope that they keep this momentum going through the end of the year.
Do you still think they falter this week?
What's that?
Do you still think they falter this week, or do you think they can prevail?
I mean, obviously, like they're the better team on paper, but ultimately, it's about playing consistent.
Yeah.
They've been playing consistently very well all season. But no one's perfect, and there's going to be times when they have bad games.
Yeah.
Hopefully, just their bad games are still better than their opponent's game.
Very true. And we will now head over to NCAA football, and we will talk Big 12. And with Texas and OU out the door in 2025, it was announced Wednesday that the Big 12 plans to expand west. And, well, they are hitting the Pac-12 pretty big, and it's led to some friction between the two conferences and their guys that are in charge. And the Pac-12 refused to comment on comments made by the Big 12, as they said that they were open for business. What are your all's thoughts here on this? Tristen, you're a Big 12 guy for now. What are your thoughts here?
When you lose when you're about to lose two powerhouse teams like Oklahoma and Texas, no matter how much it hurts me to say that Texas is a powerhouse team, overall
Big 12. So
yeah, I mean overall historically, Texas and OU are right there neck and neck with each other.
Yeah.
And if the Big 12 wants to go after some Pac-12 teams, I mean, there's no Big 12 fan out there that wants to see Lincoln Riley back in the Big 12, especially how he left OU in the first place. So
maybe
and the same thing with Caleb Williams. We don't want to see him in the Big 12 either. They can stay in the Pac-12 all they want. But
you really feel?
Yeah, no, I really do feel like this. You should have probably started with Tony on this subject, but
okay.
No, it just depends really. Depends on who they try and go after. Obviously, like I said, they're trying to replace two powerhouse teams that are leaving for the SEC in a few years. And the Big 12 without OU and Texas are really nothing, honestly, because there's not a whole lot of powerful teams in the Big 12. I mean, you got Baylor right now that's on a couple-year hot streak right now. And, Kansas, I am a firm believer they'll never be good in football.
We'll see.
But yeah, it really just depends on what teams they go after, I guess. Just keep USC in the Pac-12 where they belong, because we don't want to see them in the Big 12 is all I gotta say.
Okay, you're the only one that says that. Tony, your thoughts?
I think it's good. I think it's good. After OU lost the best coach they've had in the history of OU.
Yeah.
Obviously they're hurt. They're going to the SEC. And
Say that again?
take that back. I'm just saying that to get underneath Tristan's skin. I honestly think if they can get USC and Oregon on the Big 12, I think it would just make it a lot more interesting. As much as you hate Lincoln Riley, I would love the opportunity to play against USC in a regular season game, just to kind of stick it to them, you know what I mean? Or just so you guys can get beat. Either way, I would like to see it. Because like Tristan said, they did lose Texas and OU, which both had huge followings and huge crowds. I mean, I don't know the stats in regards to what is the percentages of these people these teams that left, how much they watch. But I'd say it's probably close to 25% of people that of the fan base in the Big 12.
Good enough.
It obviously hurt, and that's why they're looking for other teams. I think they should also venture into the ACC, the Pac-12, and see who else they can bring on. Maybe make it more lucrative, or maybe go to one of those FCS schools and see if they want to come play with the big boys.
Yeah.
I kind of got to touch on that for a minute, because
Okay, 1 minute, go.
All right, Oregon going into the Big 12. I'm actually not opposed to that. I think that would be a really smart move on Oregon's part. So I'm with Tony on that one.
Yeah.
But
I like that.
I would like to see the Big 12 pick up maybe Clemson. I think Clemson would be a really good addition to the Big 12. I'm not dogging on the Big 12 any means by saying that Texas and OU are the only good teams. They're really, not the only good teams, but there is some competition in the Big 12, and I think that would favor in Clemson's favor a little bit. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that.
Hey, you kept it under a minute. I am proud. Well done. And on that note, we now head to the NFL and we talk retirement. Two-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champ, wideout Emmanuel Sanders calls it a career after 12 years. The 35-year-old will now be a television analyst. And, he is also quoted saying this decision comes from long-term health considerations, excuse me, and the recent death of a former teammate in Demaryius Thomas. Well respected. Good job there on honoring your former teammate. I really do kudos you for that. And looking at your mental health, I'm all for that. I'm never going to be against that, especially as much as you guys put in every Sunday. I still might be a little mad at you for not coming to Kansas City and whining and dining us, but you did win 2 Super Bowls, or made it to the Super Bowl and won 1. So congratulations. Tony, your thoughts?
I would 100% agree with you.
He did well for the Steelers. That was the other team he made it to the Super Bowl with. So good guy. Tristan?
Yep.
Yeah, so I would like to talk a little bit more extensively about this subject, because I'm sure
1 minute.
I got all the time I need, Wes. All right. So
5 seconds.
When it comes to the game of football, I'm sure me and Tony can agree that, for two people that have actually played the game and have taken some hits here and there, To play 12 years in the NFL like that, it does take a toll on your body, even though I've never played in the NFL. But playing at that high level of a game, I can only understand so much of, brain damage and CTE and all that. But for him to be able to, kind of talk himself into retirement and, be able to have his mental health, I guess, and his physical health be at tip-top shape and being able to call it quits whenever he wants to. I think, that's good on him for that. And, like you said, Wes, I respect him a lot for being able to call it quits, because a lot of people, they don't, it's with the game of football, it's really hard to, realize when you're done and realize that you're never going to put on, a helmet or a pair of cleats anymore. So, and I know that firsthand. So to be able to call it quits after, all this stuff comes out about concussions and everything, and him just wanting to protect himself, all I got to say is good luck to him in his future endeavors. And, I hope the best for him. And
so what team were you on? I didn't know that about you.
What are you talking about? What?
Did you play for Jerry Jones?
No.
Oh. High school football then?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I had to call it quits early before, I was truly ready, and, it still sits with me and it will for probably a long time.
Yeah. I mean,
Tristen was D1 bound.
That's got to be hard.
Definitely not. Definitely not. But
he was recruited by MU guys. Stuff that I found out this week. I mean, wow. Crazy. I like OU though.
Tristen has the record for the most amount of picks in a game.
Yep.
Well, no. No, just every once in a while you miss putting on some shoulder pads and a helmet and going out and hitting people for fun.
I can just imagine Tristen in shoulder pads.
Next up, we continue.
Honey, I'm surprised you could fit in some shoulder pads.
Baker Mayfield and the Panthers, and this is a guy who likes to throw interceptions that Tristen could probably catch. And I mean, the comments he had though against going head-to-head for his former team this week in the Browns, he's not looking at it as a revenge game. It's a great storyline, is what he says. But there are other guys out there going up against former teams. It's all just week one excitement. And I mean, I agree with him there. That comment, Von Miller last night, going up against the team he played for a year ago at this time. So, I mean, I don't 100% believe it, but I mean, I get what he's saying. Agree?
Agree.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like you said, Wes, I think it makes for a good storyline, and Baker Mayfield being the trash talker that he is, and being able to get the fans riled up,
It's at home, Baker Mayfield, Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be a good game, and I think there's going to be a lot of hype with it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be great. He does good in games like that, and I do think he's going to go off. Lastly, we talk the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Man, what a season blow for them. I mean, Dak Prescott out for the season. What are your thoughts on this, Tristen?
Skip it. No, I'm
Do you know what I'm referencing here? I threw this one in as a curveball for you. I'll admit it.
Yeah, I'm looking at the script right now.
Counting him out. His shoes are not cooperating with him in training this week, and he's resting himself because he's fatigued from the wear on his ankles from his new cleats that he got this week. So, already counting him out for the season. Done.
Yeah.
If he can't make it to week 1, what makes you think he'll make it to week 12?
Week 18 for that matter.
Man, I mean, and I know that you have mixed feelings about him. I know that you don't like him for his decision in the playoffs, but then I know that you do like him because he's for them boys. So I don't know. It's interesting, and he probably will end up hurt, and there goes the season, and Jerry Jones won't be the blame this year. So
Patrick Mahomes, Dak Prescott, career-ending injuries. This
I don't know. We'll see. I think that about Josh Allen too. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'm very excited. My team.
All these guys a lot. And on that note, we will head to the local sports update brought to you by Trackside Burgers. They will be moving to Joplin pretty soon. I should say opening at 1515 West 10th Street. Be looking at their Facebook page for more information on that. And, catch them in Joplin for your tailgate once it comes up, or have them catered to your tailgate party. They are catering right now. So, and, Joplin Volleyball is what we'll talk about first. They will be participating in the Hillcrest Slam Fest along with Webb City. Next, we head to tennis. Neosho will head to the Thomas Jefferson Tennis Invite tonight, as well as Carthage. And then in softball, Carthage will head to the Ozarks Fall Fest, and they will play Glendale and Lee Summit West tonight. Joplin will take on West Plains tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. And for soccer, Webb City will head to Parkview, the varsity tournament up there, and that will be tonight. And they will take on Central, and tomorrow they will take on Joplin as well. So be looking out for that one. And then for Carthage, they will play in the tournament as well, and they'll go up against Branson tonight and West Plains tomorrow. And then in local college sports, MSSU soccer will head to Missouri Western at 1 p.m. tomorrow, and then volleyball will be Pitt State. They will head to Newman. Match 1 is set for a 1 p.m. tip tomorrow, and for Southern, they will head to Central Oklahoma tomorrow as well, and tip is set for 2 p.m. And, well, the moment we've all been waiting for yet again, we will finish with the 2-minute warning brought to you by Hot Stone Pizzeria. Football in the 4 states again this weekend, and we got some more games to add in. But tonight we have 2-0 Ncaa and 2-0 Carthage. Cue that music. Who you got here?
That one's tough. I'm gonna go with Carthage.
Okay.
I think it'll be a very close game, low scoring game, 27-28.
Okay.
Carthage.
Tristen?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a close game, but I'm going to have to go with Carthage on this one, 31-28.
I'll take Ncaa by a field goal. Not going to say the score, just by field goal. Webb City.
By field goal.
1-1 Webb City hosts 1-1 Republic. Who y'all got here? I'm going Webb City.
Agreed. By 3 touchdowns.
4 touchdowns. I got a 1-up Tony, so 4 touchdowns.
Let's not get too antsy here. Joplin 2-0 heads to 0-2 Ozark. Who you got? I got Joplin.
I got Ozark by a touchdown.
Okay.
Joplin by 6 touchdowns.
Right. Don't know quite, but that'd be nice. Then our
4
last matchup. Last high school matchup tonight. 1-1 Neosho heads to 1-1 Carl Junction. Who you got? This is going to be a fun one.
I got Neosho.
Okay.
I will also take Neosho in a very, very close game.
Okay. Gonna go with you guys. Putting it on the limb here. Neosho. I like Carl at home, but I'll go Neosho. Just because of last season. And then next we head to college football. Who you got? Pitt State at Nebraska Kearney.
Nebraska Kearney.
Okay.
I'll go Pitt State.
Okay. I'll take Pitt State here as well on the road. Then MSSU heads to Northeastern State. Who you got?
MSSU.
Okay.
I'll go Northeastern State.
MSSU here. I'll take them. Then we have Mizzou heading to K-State. Who you got?
I got K-State.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Tony on that one. K-State.
I'm a Mizzou fan. I'll go MIZ, baby. And then OU will head to Kent State. Who you got?
OU by 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Hopefully Tristan's right. Yes, OU by 7 touchdowns.
I'll take OU. Kent State's not that great, but if they pull it off, kudos to them. Then Kansas to West Virginia. Who you got?
Who West Virginia?
Kansas.
Oh, Kansas.
West Virginia.
Virginia. I'll take Kansas in this one. They're on the up and up. And our last stop is in prime time football in the NFL. And Sunday night, Tampa Bay and Dallas. Who you got?
Tampa Bay.
You already know my answer, Wes.
Tampa Bay. All right. That's 3 for Tampa Bay.
Dallas.
Stop giving me your answer. Dallas it is. All right. So Tampa, Dallas. And then on Monday night, we'll wrap it up. Denver and Seattle. Who you got?
Denver.
The return of Russell Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got Russell Wilson in this matchup. I'll go Denver.
I'll take Seattle. Tyler Lockett and Drew Lock. Lock and Lockett. New combo. We'll see. Actually, it's not him, but he'll probably come in at some point because, quarterbacks get injured really easy. And of course, all these games and events are pending to weather in the current fluid COVID-19 situation. So tune into each team's social media pages for times and updates. And Tony, you got one more. What's up?
So I want to remind everybody, just because I think I've been doing a bad job about it, there are some fights next weekend. So September 17th at Buffalo Run.
Tristen Hall.
I got one. So the Heartland Boxing Gym has like 4 or 5 fighters. Mossberg has 4 or 5 fighters. And I mean, there's a bunch of people from all over the region coming to fight at Buffalo Run. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And hopefully we get an interview or two before then, or maybe after. And we'll put it on the show.
Hopefully some fight footage too. And the music is continuing, and so is the end of another episode. For Tony, Tristen, CJ, and myself, have a great and safe rest of your week. Congrats to everybody, for Tristen, because this is his last show for a little bit. You can say the last few words here.
Yeah, I'm not quitting. Just a couple weeks. I'm, getting married next weekend on the 17th, so I will not be attending these fights. But I'm gonna I'm taking a little bit of a leave of absence, and I'll be back ready to go probably beginning of October or whenever the next show is, a week after the wedding.
Forever hold your peace, and we'll take it out. See y'all next week.
Miss Hal.
See ya.
Miss Rowdy.
Yeah, Mrs. Rowdy.
We'll be covering that continually. And